Kelly thought it would. Kelly thought it would.
Yes, please.
I thought that would be just pretty short. And I looked, it was like 6 minutes, 6 pages a minute.
Okay, we're ready? Okay, guys, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right, so first I'm here. We have, second item, I guess. We have the approval of the agenda. The only thing I need to remove is the RJL Solutions. They will be at our next meeting. And I need to add one thing, sorry. I need to add Judge Lucy Dolphinet and Chief Probation Officer Brandy Glenn a request to fill a vacancy. Is that right? Okay. So I'll entertain a motion
I'll make that
with the changes.
With those changes.
Oh, this, I think maybe right after Miss Joan, because she has a request to fill a vacancy and it's kind of the same type thing, if that's okay. Okay. Motion to approve the agenda with the changes. Is that your motion, David?
That's my motion.
Okay. Motion made by David. Second by Corey. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Motion passes. All right. Next is public comments. And each person speaking will have 4 minutes. Yeah, if you don't mind. Chris will be the timekeeper. Charles Baumeister, Perry County Animal Welfare. Is that right? Okay. Come on up.
Thank you.
You're
Good
welcome.
evening. I'm here as chairperson of the Perry County Animal Welfare Board. Several months ago, we notified you that you have a position on the board. And I just wanted to explain that because I'm not sure if everyone's aware that we changed that ordinance. When Commissioner Thorne was on the board with me, we rewrote the ordinance because at one time we had 5 members, now we have 7. Representative Troy, one from Tell City, one from Candleton, 2 by the commissioners, 2 by the council. In the old ordinance, people had to be involved with some sort of animal welfare board. That has been taken out.
Okay.
So it basically has opened it up to any resident in the county. All right. We have our 6 members. We're requesting that 7th. So I'm asking you to consider, I've been told people have sent in letters. I don't know that for a fact.
We haven't received any.
Okay.
So
All right.
you got any?
Nicole hasn't advised me that we've gotten
Okay.
any.
Well,
I mean, if they do, we'll move on it. If
okay.
we,
All right.
you know,
That's, I'm
absolutely.
just, because I didn't know if one of the sticking points was the old ordinance because it said
Well,
it had to be.
Now that you say that, I'm glad that you brought that up because we're going to talk about our board appointments, the openings, and we were going to mention tonight that there is one on animal welfare, the council appointment, but it does say on here, we need to probably change this. It talks about the old Perry County Animal Welfare Organization and the
It's
animal ag.
taken, that's completely out of the
So there's
ordinance
no
now.
requirement.
No requirement.
Okay.
They have to be a
So we'll
resident
just
of the
remove
county.
that, okay?
Okay.
That might
Right.
help you get applicants too because it was very specific.
Well, we've announced it like at the Humane Society
Okay.
meetings and everything. There's several of their members that said they were interested.
Okay.
So, but I just wanted to let everyone know that that's out of the ordinance because sometimes that was a
Okay.
sticking point.
Yeah, and it's still being advertised like that.
Yes.
So that's good. I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay.
And then if you know people that thought they submitted their thing and
I'll
she
contact
doesn't
them.
have it, make sure that they get it.
Okay, sure
Back
will.
in,
Okay,
okay.
thank you very
Or they can
much.
send it to any of us, but the auditor's office is probably,
Okay, that's fine.
okay,
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Next up, Mr. Carter. Perry County Animal Welfare. Oh. Well, okay,
Okay, well,
it's okay.
we're wearing 2 hats, both of us
Okay.
are. Anyway, the reason I was.
And you gave us this paper?
Yeah, you-
Okay.
As you're aware, last year, starting actually in October,
Mhm.
I was to the commissioners a multiple amount of times to try to convince them that because of the restraints and the constraints, because the state put constraints on the counties, we have very little money to work with. And the Animal Control Board has got 0 money to work with. So the commissioners advised me personally to try to, let's switch to to, instead of the counties or the government funding, because I was pushing for a fund,
Uh-huh.
a special fund. And they recommended, they didn't want to do a fund. They recommended that the organizations go ahead and try to figure out a way to fund. So the Humane Society has been working with the Animal Control Board and the shelter, and between the three of us, we're trying to figure out how to raise funds to do what we need to do. And specifically, the funds that we're trying to find for what we're trying to do is, we have a major problem, as usual, as we know, is for the cats. And spay and neuter is the goal, to try to spay and neuter as many cats as possible. On May 17th, we have a spay and neuter clinic in coordination with the state. And we put money aside, and actually about 25% of our annual budget could possibly go to that, because we give $50 towards any Perry County resident that has a cat that needs to be spayed or neutered through this thing on May 17th.
Is it based on income or anything, or is it any?
The state has a based on income where they give them a portion of what needs to be done, but people still don't have hardly enough any money. So the Humane Society, the directors have voted to give $50 for every cat, up to 3 cats for Perry County residents. But when you add that up, we could possibly do 100 Perry County cats. We haven't did that many. We usually do in the 70s to 80s, but 100 cats is $5,000, and that's about 25% of our annual budget. So,
Here I go again. Sorry, guys.
that's okay.
Kids are gonna be laughing at me
You can
again.
quack all day long. Anyway, so in order to be able to come up with funds, the Humane Society, we're pushing for membership big time, where I'm trying to find any person that wants to be interested, or any way that a person can figure out how we can help alleviate the fund problem through the county too, and the cities. And one of the things I'm doing is approaching the county councils, the commissioners, the city council members, and you've got your thing in there. You've got a paper that we sent out with your membership. So I'm asking all of you to become a member of the Humane Society, so we can get more members and more input, so we can come up with ways to figure out how to solve the problem. Eventually, if it doesn't get any better, there's going to be some, I have to use a bad word, I ain't going to use that, but you know which word I'm talking about, because something's going to have to be done. And so the county does not have extra money, or the cities. We've got to come up with a new solution. So right now, the Humane Society, the shelter, and Animal Control Board are coordinating together to try to figure out, but we need a way to come up with funds. And that, by the way, and as the state knows, and under the ordinance, it specifically states that Animal Control Board can accept funds for special purposes, for specific purpose. So I'm assuming that if we come up with funds, that the fund that usually is called the Animal Control Ordinance Fund would be the fund number to be used. So how do you do that? I'm still trying to find out.
That would be, in my opinion, and I might not be right, but I think it would be setting up like a donation or something totally separate, because your fund probably already has an ordinance. I don't know what it says.
It was never a fund. It was all done out of the general as a line item. So there's no
Oh,
fund
so you don't
item
even have
for
a
it.
fund.
No, there's no
No,
fund.
it's from the commissioner's line item, correct. But that was the funds that we used.
Mhm.
So to try to figure out how, and that was $5,000 a year,
Mhm.
which didn't go very far. That's specifically what this spay and neuter clinic is going to cost us if we'd have 100. And there's more people asking, so.
And your organizations that you're working with, the Humane Society and the Animal Shelter, which are both nonprofits, I believe.
Correct.
They're not willing to be the keeper of those funds to do
Actually-
those activities, or they
Actually,
are?
we passed the directors. I brought that to the directors because we have never accepted any funds from any government entity for the 26 years that I've been either president or vice president. The main reason we wanted to make sure that we didn't have other entities telling us what to do with our funds.
Yeah.
But Charlie had a very good point saying, listen, we've got to come up with some kind of solution. and the Humane Society and the shelter is going to have to be able to weather this. So we actually the directors passed the ability for us to accept funds directly.
So like as donations.
Yes.
So, I guess I'm misunderstanding why you would need a county fund if those three organizations can work out of the nonprofit fund specifically for that purpose.
Because the only problem we have is we're going to be working with the Animal Control Board. That's an entity within the county, which is within the state. That's a unit. The county is a unit of the state. And it's in the ordinance.
That
So-
you may have a fund.
That absolutely, and the state already agrees with that for a specific purpose, but nobody wants to create this fund.
I think my issue, as well as just what I'm gonna say is, I don't feel like county's responsibility is to go out and ask for donations. We're the county, we're the government, we already tax people enough, and I don't think we should be lobbying for donations.
And
But private organizations can do that.
that's exactly right, but that's what I'm saying. And I've said this before, if a person came up and said, I've got $10,000 that I want to give, how does the Humane Society work with the Animal Control Board? Because we want the Animal Control Board to oversee this. That means now you've got a county organization, an entity that's going to be overseeing this. We want them to do that because they're the ones that's going to be creating these spay and neuter clinics in the future and the TNR program that we're trying to create. So we have to work with the county, and the county has to step up and say, look, we understand what the problem is. But you're eventually going to have to do something.
Have you checked with the, like legal about all this?
Yes.
If that's even allowable? You've checked with our county attorneys to make sure that,
That's the problem. I've asked the questions, nobody gives me answers. I'm asking the questions.
oh, you're asking, you've asked the attorneys or you're asking us
I'm
now?
asking us. I'm asking you.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, I don't know the legalese of it, but I think that we can contact them and ask that, but
Commissioners were already supposed to ask that question. They were supposed to ask that question in December.
I can't answer that.
Could I add a little bit? The reason I wanted the county out of it.
Yeah.
I wanted it to go to the shelter or the Humane Society, and as our board, we're going to promote donations to those organizations.
Sure.
Because no offense to anyone, but when it gets tied up, we need that money when we need it. We can't wait for weeks or months.
For approvals.
So this is the way we bypass it. We're not doing anything illegal. We're just asking donations to be made to either the shelter or that for the TNR program.
Okay,
And
But-
that was suggested by the commissioner.
which I agree with that. I think that's a good
The
idea.
problem with that is I still think it's very important that the Animal Control Board oversees it. And that's the problem. And that's what I'm saying. It's right there. How do you do that?
But I guess I don't understand what you mean by overseeing it. Like, you're
Well-
gonna coordinate it, you're gonna be a part of it, you're gonna,
Well, I'm on the Animal Control Board with Charlie, and I think that everything that has to do with coordinating this, there's one entity that was with the county that we deal with this, so we should be involved. We should be involved with all these nonprofits. The more nonprofits, the better. But you can't just, my opinion, is the county just can't turn and say, wait, we don't want to have anything to do with this. The county has got to be, the county's got to step up. And it's time that you come up with a solution with us through the Animal Control Board.
I mean, this is the first time you're presenting it to us. And so, I mean, I'm hearing these, that you need legal help and all these things. I've never heard this before, so
I understand.
the expectation that I would know all of this right now, I mean, I don't have, it's not there. But I mean, if you're asking me for help to find out from our legal attorney, the council's attorney,
Well,
what that looks like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any problem doing that. I do it all the time.
the problem is I'm trying to find solutions along with Charlie through the Animal Control Board. Charlie's the new chair, so we've now got a new group together, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to be able to do this and control it. But I still say the county's got to step up. If they don't, things are going to get even more out of hand.
I guess I don't know. I don't understand what you mean by step up. You want me to get a hold of the attorney and ask him if what you're doing is legal, but I'm going to need you there because I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're going to partake in or what might, we don't want extra liabilities, but I mean, we need to make sure we're covered.
But you're expecting the Humane Society to accept certain things. It could be in a gray area. That's the point I'm trying to make. All at once, yes. Somebody wants to make a donation, they say, hey, I want this donation to go through the Animal Control Board. You see what I'm saying? We're getting already people asking that. I don't want this to go, I don't like Humane Society, but I do want to go to Animal Control Board. You see the questions.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll get with you and I'll see if when we can get a time to get with Rod, the council's attorney, and you can explain these things to him because I want to make sure he has all the details. And if he has questions, then he can ask you directly. Is that okay?
That's fine. In the meantime, I want you to all become members.
That's easy enough. I've done that before.
If you want to give the Humane Society, that's fine, but we need all the members we can get to be able to coordinate things, okay?
Yep, thank you. Okay. Next is Tracy Benet.
Need some copies, but I'm lacking one, so I don't know if I could maybe email one to David,
Okay.
or
Yeah, you
is
can,
that okay if I email one to you?
Yeah.
And that's for.
I can share mine with him.
Okay, perfect. Sorry that I'm short.
Did you get? Share that with David. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Good evening. My name is Tracy Vinay, and I was initially hired as first deputy clerk under Joan Hess on August the 18th, 2025. Then on March 14th, 2026, I was let go of without cause and without an explanation given, despite a positive 90-day review just months earlier. I'm here because y'all, as the council, deserve to know the circumstances before deciding whether or not to fill my position. I'm also here because what happened to me should not happen in public service at all. Within my first 2 days of working as the first deputy clerk, I was asked by Joan Hess, acting clerk, in front of coworkers if I was registered to vote. When I stated I thought so, I was cut off abruptly and told, "No, you're not." I checked. Then I was asked if I knew what political ticket I would run on. I asked about an independent, as I wished there wasn't such a big divide in party lines, that it should be about who will do the better job, and was told that in this county, if I ran as an independent, I wouldn't get any votes. Joan then stated, selfishly, she hoped that I would run on the Democratic ticket and that she could help me and show me how things were done to campaign. I asked her what if I chose the other ticket, and was told, and I quote, "I won't be able to help you. I'm just being honest. And unfortunately, I will be forced to find someone to run against you." That moment mattered because politics entered a role that should be about service, integrity, and fairness, and a line was crossed that day. I continued to show up ready to work, learn, and serve. At my 90-day review in November of 2025, I was given no corrections. I repeatedly asked for more responsibility to learn all facets of the job and election work. Those requests were denied with excuses given such as, "We don't want to overwhelm you," and "I'll have to see if you're able to do this or that," or "This is how it's always been done." Training was limited, work was unevenly distributed, and over time my input was dismissed until I full-on stopped offering it. On January 6th, I filed to run for county clerk on the Republican ticket, and everything changed. Communication became cold, I should have said colder. Training all but stopped. I was excluded, and an example is I was no longer receiving group messages when coworkers and my direct supervisor were off or running late, which I had regularly received in the months before I had put my ticket in as Republican. I would show up to the office, and after about 10 to 30 minutes, I would ask if so-and-so was okay, so whoever was not there at that time, or if anyone had heard from them, and the others seemed to know exactly what was going on with the coworker who wasn't present. I was also directly told that Joan was going to teach someone else about elections, that she was told by other counties best practice for someone who's running on a ticket was that they stay as far away from the elections as possible. I stated I disagreed with this and asked if it was up for discussion. I was directly told, no, it's not. She then asked the other two ladies that day if one of them wanted to learn, and one of them said yes, the past first deputy clerk, and Joan immediately agreed to teach her. Mistakes were called out publicly, but never given opportunity to be corrected. my two coworkers, both who had only been in full-time roles in that office about 6 months longer than what I had been, and who were often calling other offices to ask how to do their work, would discuss oversights in my work, more so after I had begun a public records request. They would discuss my work in front of me, but would not include me in the conversations, nor would they use them as teaching moments, which I also called out the Friday prior to being let go of. Much of the things that needed correcting came directly from a lack of proper training or because the situation had not occurred. And so not only did I not know how to handle the situation, nor was I trained how to handle it, but even those responsible for my training had to call out of office to find out the proper methods for handling the work that they were now scrutinizing. I was held to a different standard. When I raised concerns through a meeting I called with Joan and Kelly Wilgus from HR, respectfully and professionally, I was told by Joan Hess at one point, and I quote, "The only reason you were hired is because no one else wanted the job." Shortly after speaking up in that HR meeting and submitting a public records request, I was terminated. No warning, no reason given, and no opportunity to improve. At the same time, I had begun asking questions about comp time practices, and I filed a public records request due to concerns about misuse and fraud. So I have to ask, was I let go of because of performance, even though none was documented? Or for speaking up, for asking questions, and for choosing a different political path to the three who currently work in the clerk's office? Because the pattern is deeply concerning to me. That's why I'm here today. I am pursuing legal counsel regarding political discrimination, retaliation for whistleblowing, and wrongful termination. I respectfully urge this counsel to seek legal guidance before acting to replace this position. I accepted this role with integrity. I asked questions. I tried to get involved. I wanted to learn, to serve, and to do the job well, and I still intend to. I'm still on the ballot. I am still running for county clerk. I lost my position. I lost my livelihood for my daughter and I, but I did not lose my voice. I'm not standing here because this is easy, because it is absolutely not. I'm standing here because it's necessary. I trust that you guys will do what's right with what you now know. That's not even the full story. That's my 4-minute time span to bring it before y'all. I thank you all, each of you council members, for your time, and I thank you for allowing me the opportunity to state the facts which led to this current vacancy for first deputy clerk.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks.
All right. Next on the agenda, we have Joan Hess, request to fill vacancy.
Good evening. I'm here this evening to ask permission to advertise and fill an opening in our office.
On advice from the council attorney, we were asked to table this request at this time. So I will entertain a motion unless someone else has something to say about that.
I think any action at this point in time is inappropriate until we learn information, facts, and make sure that we have all the legal information necessary to make a proper decision.
Okay, so is it a motion to table it, or
I'll make a
as
motion to table.
recommended by the council attorney?
There you go.
Okay, motion made by Brad,
I'll second that.
second by Gail. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Jones. Okay, next we have minutes. Oh, oh, sorry. I do have you wrote down, I'm sorry. Come on up. Come on. You're on here too. Nope. Nope. Okay, fine. She's your boss. Although she did say it was going to be you.
I brought Ms. Glenn with me today in case you had questions about the position. My part-time drug field tester found a full-time job. So we're very happy for him that he found a full-time job. Unfortunately for us, we now have a position open. And so we're just here to fill that position. It's a position paid for out of SAPS. No county tax dollars pay that position. If you have any questions about the job, again, it's part-time.
What do you do in the interim whenever he's not here? If you
I'd
can
rather not say that.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I just was curious if you had to contract that out.
No. So,
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about this? I mean, this is something that's required. I mean, we have to do it, right?
yeah, we need him out.
Any questions for Judge? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by David to
I'll second
approve. Is that what your motion
Yes, to
is?
approve
Okay.
the hiring.
Second by Paul. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Where is wrong?
Oh, he has to be on the agenda.
Well, we can move on and then,
Have you back.
unless something might have changed or they could have had an issue over there or something. Next, we're gonna skip past Ron and then we're gonna go to minutes from 2/9. We'll do these individually if that's okay. Again, very good minutes, Lisa, if you're watching.
That's a good job.
She's very detailed, so. I'll entertain a motion on the minutes from 2/9.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made to approve by Brad. Second by Corey. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion passes. And the next minutes are from 2/26. I'll entertain a motion for those.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Brad,
I'll second it.
second by David. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And I abstain. Because I wasn't here. So, any nays?
No.
Okay, so one abstain. And the last one is from March 5th. I'll entertain a motion for the March 5th minutes.
I'll make that motion also.
Motion made by Brad to approve,
I'll second that.
second by David. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 I abstain, I wasn't at that meeting.
Okay, and Paul abstains. Any nays? Motion passed. All right, you're up next. We need this, oh, you got it, okay.
Just got transfers, for the planning and zoning, which were originally appropriated during budget time out of the general fund. In November, we set up a separate fund for the planning and zoning revenue from, building permits. So we'll be moving that appropriation, to pay out of that fund. This is just a transfer. This is not an additional appropriation. This is transfer of appropriation from general fund for board members to the newly created planning and zoning revenue fund for 4911 and the amount of $810.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Motion made by Corey,
Second.
second by David.
Yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Approved.
The second one is for the social security with the same thing out of general fund, moved to the new fund 4911 in the amount of $62.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Motion made by Paul, second by Corey. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Approved.
Moving the expense of office supplies from general to 4911 for planning and zoning in the amount of $275.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. I'll make that
Motion made by David to approve,
Second then?
second by Brad. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? approved. All right. Next is letter of support for Okra Cannleton Water System. I talked to the gentleman who's going to be helping them with this. And I drafted, I had emailed it out to everybody, but I have more copies if you need one. I drafted a letter of support for this project. I can read it if you want. Did everybody have a chance to read it? Okay, yep. Anybody have any discussion on this, or is everybody okay with the letter of support? I think it'll help their grant application for them to be able to get the,
Well written.
Yeah.
Good job.
okay, so if everybody's okay with it, then I'll entertain a motion to approve this, and then,
I'll make that motion.
okay, motion made by Brad, second by Gail. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? All right. Letter of support passes. And the last thing I have is the board appointments. Where's that paper? I just had it when Charlie was talking. Okay. All right, so we will get this, just remove this, like Charlie said, that there's no stipulations. And so we'll just leave this on here. Maybe we can get it on social media. Do you have it on your animal welfare page?
I've sent it out on, I will.
We'll get it put back out
Yeah.
in some different areas.
Expect tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's on the website.
Is it still a 4-year term?
Pardon?
Is it still a 4-year term?
Starting out, yes. No, hold on,
1 year.
no.
What's that say over there?
I have to read
It says
the
this is
ordinance because I think Troy, I think it was 3 years starting out. And then once they complete that, if they're reappointed, it's 4 years.
Okay, we'll just have to confirm with the ordinance and, or if you can verify that. Do you have a copy of the ordinance? You have a copy of the new one? Okay, so we'll make sure that it's right on the website. And then if you want to get it on social media on the, your animal welfare page, we can get that shared around and
Okay.
hopefully get you some applicants. And again, if there's people that thought they applied, we want to make
I
sure
will
that they know we're
send
not,
it to Chris.
we don't have them, so we need to
Okay.
have them submit again, okay? All right. We have a special council meeting,
Wait on that one.
Property Tax Assessment Board of Appeals. We have one more appointment. And what political affiliation does this need to be? Do we know? Did you say independent or Democrat? We'll have to check.
Yeah, it's what we've got on there now. It's on the website right now, what we've got. I believe we have,
Can't be more than a simple majority, I
Right.
think. So we'll check and we'll go ahead and update it on the website. What it
it's on
needs
the
to be.
website.
Well, and I mean, what their affiliation needs to be, and it's based off of the clerk's records,
Yeah.
I believe.
If you go to, let's see.
Primary records, I think is what.
About board members.
So if someone doesn't know, they can check with the clerk's
Yeah,
office
they
on
can.
their past history.
Let me see. Currently, we have an independent, 2 Republicans and a Democrat.
So it can be any,
Yes, because you just can't have them
more than a simple majority.
at one of those. So you've got 2 Republicans.
I think that's right.
It can be no more than 3.
No more than 3 of
No more
5.
than
Yep, of one party. That's,
So
so it can be any. It can be independent, Democrat, or
Right.
Republican. So anybody can apply if you're interested.
Yep.
I think is there other parameters on there? I mean, anybody with it, whatever political affiliation they are.
they have, it goes to the IC code too here where it
Yeah.
tells you all about it.
Oh, you click, it's on the website. So it's on the website. All the more information about that is on there. So if anybody's interested in that, send in your letters of interest to the auditor's office.
If you go to departments.
On the website,
mhm,
perrycounty.in.gov.
Yep, and if you go to. I'm trying to think about, is there board members? I'm trying to think where that's at. Open board appointments, that's where it's at, on the main
Okay,
page.
on the main page, open
Yep,
board
it
appointments.
shows there's where it's.
Okay, so you can find any open appointments, as I have commissioner appointments also.
Commissioners
Okay.
right there.
Okay, so it shows each body and the board appointments that are available. So if anybody's interested,
Let me just read this and see if you guys have any questions. I mean, I don't know.
We can add it on the 8th if we need to.
Okay.
If that's all right, because I'd rather him be here to be able to explain it. Some
About
questions?
Ron,
Yeah,
don't we have enough information
I
here
don't, yeah,
that he
it's
has
pretty state
provided?
statute, it's state, it's,
I mean, you can go forward with it if you want to read it. I don't know if anybody will have any questions about it, but
What's being voted on here is that Ron Gibson, who's the jailer, has asked that the per diem fee that the county is allowed to charge is listed in an ordinance that was passed, and it's referred to as 0C12-4. And from the publication that he provided to us, under 33-110, previously we had listed $30 multiplied by each part of the day that the person is lawfully detained under Indiana Code 3533-11-3 for more than 6 hours. Those numbers are set by the county, and the new standard for the state was reported to Ron as being instead of $30 at $42. And he's asked that we raise that per diem fee from the 30 that is currently in ordinance up to $42 per day. That money does not come out of county funds. It comes out of part of their sentencing when they are sentenced. And again, given we have that information, it seems pretty cut and dried to me. I'd like to see that go ahead and take an action today. I don't know that.
I think we'll need to get, like, if you guys approve, I think we'll need to get the ordinance amendment, like, so we'll need to have Rod do an amendment to the original, because the original was in 98, and then it got changed in 04 to the 30, so then we just need to do another amendment.
what's this 12?
12-4 of 04.
4, 2,
Oh,
12?
sorry, I said about that, I meant 12, not, yeah, in 2012, not 24. April, is that April?
Mhm.
Yeah, I said it backward.
April
Not
2nd,
04, yeah,
2012.
yeah. So it did an amendment in 12, so we just need to do another amendment because basically the cost of it, has went up and we can get $42 instead of 30.
Will a motion made to this end start that ball rolling?
Yes.
Like a motion to go ahead and draft an ordinance for future approval. I mean, once we review it, make sure it's, or is that what you want to do?
To adopt the amendment.
To adopt
Yeah,
it, but we
yeah.
don't really have an amendment. I
I
mean,
mean, that's what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, we'll just type up the amendment. Yeah, if you guys will formally approve it today.
Yeah,
it'll be the
simply-
same ordinance, we'll just attach an amendment to it. Okay, so we don't have to have a whole new,
No, just an amendment.
as long as it's, if he says the state is the one recommending this based on the costs that have went up significantly since 2012.
We know that's true from
Yeah.
budget issues from last year. Yeah,
And that's the recommended amount that the state
that's listed.
says it should be.
It's represented as the new state standard on the document that was provided.
Okay, I mean, if you want, it's up to you guys if you want to take action on it.
I'll make that motion.
Motion to,
Change the per diem fee that can be charged to people who meet other criteria in the ordinance, to be changed from $30 per day to the state recommended $42 per day.
all right, motion made by Brad,
I'll second that.
second by Gail. Any further discussion? He's requesting it and he knows what the daily costs are. He deals with all the management of the supplies and what all it takes to house an inmate for one day. So he knows that better than any of us.
That's what I believe.
So I'll believe his recommendation for this. So if no further comments, then we'll take it to a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion passes and is approved. And I will get with Rod on an amendment.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I'll do that. We've got all the documentation here. So I'll get with Rob.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't mind. If you don't mind, that's fine too.
I'll do that.
All right. Thank you. If nothing else, we have a special county council meeting on Wednesday, April 8th at 11 o'clock for some additional appropriations that have already been advertised. And then our next regularly scheduled county council meeting will be on Thursday, April 23rd at 5 o'clock.
Needs to be at the courthouse annex.
It will
Yeah.
be
Yes.
at the annex, yeah. Nothing further, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Paul,
Second.
second by Corey. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, and guys, hang around because I need you to sign some things, yeah. Yeah. Thank you for print, telling me, I mean, I already